Well. Just if you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, preseason has started. The lads are back. They were actually back since yesterday. So, where are our new signings?
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get on with the latest Chelsea transfer news. There's a lot of talk about De Ligt. There's a lot of talk about Hakim Ziyech. Those are the two big stories that's going on, along with some other sort of little stories that are not really little, but side stories, I suppose, that we're going to touch on. But first of all, look at this: the lads are back. The lads are back, ladies and gentlemen, in preseason. You can see Ian Martin, Ben Chilwell, Malang Sarr, Kennedy, get ready. Sterling, Dujon Sterling, that is not Raheem Sterling, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Kepa. Look at this, even Hakim Ziyech is back. Hakim Ziyech is back. We're going to talk about Hakim Ziyech. Chalobah is obviously there. I don't think Hakim Ziyech is staying. He's definitely leaving for AC Milan. Yeah, it's not ideal that he's still around here because obviously he would like to join AC Milan. I'm sure we will get a resolution very soon. But yeah, um, I really thought that. I suppose this week is still, not the senior player. Well, I don't like to say senior. The players that didn't participate in international duties, they're the ones who are back. And then at the end of this particular week, all the other players will come in terms of Mason Mount and Jorginho and the likes of the rest, Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, all the players that participated in the international matches post the season. So, look, I really thought we would have players by now. Raheem Sterling is probably going to be there hopefully next week. There's some stories about how he's sold his property in Manchester to Trent Alexander-Arnold. So hopefully that's a player that's coming through. Besides that, I don't think we're in advance with anyone else. I know there was talks about Nathan Ake, but I'm not really sure if it's as advanced as Raheem Sterling. And we're going to talk about De Ligt, and I don't think this is going to be done over the next couple of weeks either. So we could potentially have a pre-season with just probably Raheem Sterling, and all of these players are probably going to bits and pieces come through, hopefully before the Everton game. And maybe even after. Who knows? But let's get on with this one. First of all, the Ligt story, which is huge. Juventus are holding out for 80 to 90 million euros, 69 million to 77 million for Matthijs de Ligt, according to Gazzetta today. Negotiations are ongoing. I think initially we heard that it was somewhere around 60 million pounds, so 69 to 77 million. Look, at the end of the day, we need defenders, and other clubs know this scenario, so we're going to have to pay premium. If we can bring this down, obviously that'll be extremely well received. On top of that, we have to realize that it's not just this particular price that we're paying for De Ligt. Juventus do want one of our players, so at the end of the day, if you net things out, we're definitely not going to be paying 69, 70, 77 million as an overall picture, because they want one of our players, and we're going to get to who they actually want. Chelsea are confident to secure the services of Matthijs de Ligt. Official offer of 70 million euros to come. Negotiations deemed positive between his agent and Chelsea. I mean, Juventus are holding out for 80 to 90 million, but we're coming in with 70. I hope we can do something. I really hope that this doesn't drag out as well to the point where other clubs come in, because apparently Man United sniffing on this particular opportunity as well. Yes, De Ligt would like to play for us, Champions League football, but he's got history with Eric Ten Hag. So we don't want to. I'm not saying go out there and just submit to whatever Juventus is saying, but try and make a deal with the other player they want from us. So negotiate. If they want to charge more for De Ligt, we'll charge more for the one that the player that they want from us. Get to a middle ground. Look, if 70 million is the case, so be it. But have the conversations quick and get to a resolution as soon as possible. Juventus are pushing hard to sign Kalidou Koulibaly as Matthijs de Ligt's replacement and are hopeful of agreeing a deal. Now, Juventus weren't actually looking to sell De Ligt. It was a bit of a shock for them that De Ligt wants to leave. He's got 2 years left, and he sees the opportunity that this is the right time to leave. And I suppose Chelsea's come at a right time for him, knowing that we need defenders. And he would like to play under Thomas Tuchel and the system that we play, the build-up and the possession-based football, which suits him. So now Juventus are in search. Obviously, they can't keep a player that doesn't want to stick around. So Kalidou Koulibaly at Napoli, who's also linked with us, who I would have loved as well, if I'm being honest. De Ligt and Koulibaly would have been absolutely amazing. Knowing, I don't know if Jules Koundé is going to happen. We're going to talk about Jules Koundé. Jules Koundé, I think that thing is dead now for Chelsea Football Club. So, look, Kalidou Koulibaly would be a very good replacement for Juventus. 1 year left in the contract with Napoli, and he's gone around about 40 million euros. So it's absolutely nice scenario for Juventus. Juventus are interested in Jorginho, but he isn't part of any deal being discussed for Matthijs de Ligt. Look, we spoke about this few live streams ago that I genuinely think Jorginho down the track, I mean, whether it be this season or maybe next season, well, next season will be his last season for Chelsea Football Club, he would like to return back to Italy. He would like to return back to Italy, his home nation, and he's very much appreciated in Italy. Registers are looked upon massively over there. And Juventus is a name that's being thrown around. Obviously, when Sarri was there, he was definitely strongly linked, more so from Jorginho's agent. But I definitely can see this happening. With his minutes last season reducing a lot, and us talking about Declan Rice and midfielders now Frankie de Jong, which we'll get to, I think his number is coming to an end at Chelsea Football Club. And also, what do you do with Billy Gilmore? What do you do with Ethan Ampadu? There could be some sort of a backup plan. So, look, Matthijs de Ligt, Jorginho might work for both the clubs. They would appreciate a player like Jorginho, and we at the moment sort of at times undervalue him. So, look, perfect case scenario in my opinion. And let's try and find a middle ground with this. And this particular story now leads on to this one, ladies and gentlemen, which is interesting. And I want to hear what you guys have to say about this sort of link up here. Chelsea are hoping that Champions League football, as well as signing Matthijs de Ligt, would convince Frankie de Jong to snub Manchester United and join one of his best friends at Stamford Bridge instead. Now, it is well documented that Man United are in heavy conversations with Barcelona for Frankie de Jong. But it also is well documented that Frankie de Jong simply does not want to leave Barca, especially for Man United. Would he leave for us? I don't know, maybe. No one seems to be leaving for Barcelona for us at the moment, so I'm not entirely convinced with this particular story. But if we let go of Jorginho and we're looking to enhance that midfield situation, it completely makes sense to me that we're going for Frankie de Jong. I've always advocated for Frankie de Jong. I was just a bit annoyed that we're trying to hijack this from Man United. Why haven't we been in conversation about this player from the get-go? That was what has annoyed me. But if we let go of Jorginho, you'd essentially think we need to sort of fill that up. I mean, you could go into the season thinking, okay, Billy Gilmore and Ethan Ampadu could perhaps do the job. And predominantly it'll be Kovacic and Kante and God knows what's happening with Ruben Loftus-Cheek, but it does seem a bit light. So when you can add someone like Frankie de Jong, why not? And this whole thing about Frankie de Jong, the league, AK is involved as well. We're trying to recreate the Dutch team under Thomas Tuchel. So we'll see what happens over there. But let me know how you feel about. Would you be willing to swap Jorginho for Frankie de Jong? Let me know that. And do you think it is really possible? Is Man United's going to get to Frankie de Jong before all of us? I suppose. I think they are in a much advanced sort of conversation than us. I don't think we're in any sort of advanced conversation. And anything that we do with Barcelona sort of goes down the drain. Okay. Now, this is the second biggest story that's going around. Hakim Ziyech. This has been floating around. This guy is going to go. He's leaving Chelsea Football Club. He's going to go to AC Milan. How quickly can we make this happen is the next thing, because the quicker he moves on, the quicker we can sort of look into replacement and whatnot. I'm a bit concerned because without Dembele and without Rafinha and only Sterling coming in, Hakim Ziyech most likely going. Lukaku's already gone. we a bit light in terms of wingers, in terms of attackers up front as well? We're potentially going in with Havertz and Broha because Richarlison and Jesus, they've gone to their respective clubs, Arsenal and Spurs. So what's the plan? If no Hakim Ziyech, our wingers are literally Sterling, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Christian Pulisic, who's also unhappy. I mean, I don't really consider Timo Werner as a winger, but yes, he can play. He plays as an inside forward. Havertz, I don't consider him as a winger as well. He could probably play as a second striker, attacking midfielder. So, what's the plan? Are we going for another winger? And if so, who? Because there's literally no link. So we need to think about it. These guys are leaving. And I won't be surprised if Pulisic or Werner, one of those people, players, leave. Let me know. I mean, would you guys keep them on for another season? Because we need bodies. We simply need bodies. Chelsea are willing to cover part of Hakim Ziyech's salary if he joins AC Milan on loan, which is a major factor in Rossoneri's looking to sign the winger this summer. Last I saw something like about 5 million euros in loan fee and then an obligation or an option to buy for about 20 million, which is fine. And if we cover part of his salary, I mean, look, I don't expect AC Milan to cover all of his salary. His salary is something in excess of 100k per week. Don't know the exact figure. So if we have to cover part, we cover part. It is what it is. This is what you're going to get when you bring in a player who under Frank Lampard seemed like he was getting deployed in the right manner, and then under Thomas Tuchel, and this is nothing against Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel likes to play with inside forwards. He wants his wingers to be more of a 10. Hakim Ziyech is simply not an inside forward. He's more of a wide-sided player. So now he's a mismatch, and this is what's going to happen when you have a player that is a mismatch. Rival teams or opposition teams will like to negotiate with you. Because they'll be like, well, you don't want the player doesn't want to stay with you guys, well, do us a deal. So if we have to pay part of his wages, so be it. I suppose it's the best case scenario for all parties involved. Okay, here we go. Here are the other bits and bobs that's gone around. I don't even consider Jules Koundé as bits and bobs. This is probably a serious news as well. Jules Koundé seemed destined to move to Chelsea, with the player agreeing on personal terms months ago. But the most recent meetings between the clubs have brought no new developments. I think this is dead. I really think this is dead because, as I've said it previously, this was probably a club purchase. Thomas Tuchel seems to be more interested with De Ligt, AK, and whoever else. There's not much talk about Jules Koundé. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know how you feel about this, man. I mean, we've been so heavily linked with this player for the past 2 seasons. Personal terms agreed, we've heard so many times. And this is about to break down, and Barcelona will make this happen. This is one of their priority defenders. So once again, people, let me know how you feel about this. I mean, I feel like this guy would have been a very good addition for us in the RCB position. Okay. Chelsea defender Marcos Alonso will be sold to Barcelona for around 10 million euros, and the idea is he will be part of their preseason tour of the United States. This is fantastic news. Great news. For the first time, even Marcos Alonso is fed up with us. Not only we've been fed up with Marcos Alonso, now he's fed up with us. Let's make this happen. Let's cash in on the 10 million euros, and we can use that elsewhere. That could be part of Hakim Ziyech's salary as well that we were just talking about. Take that. I think that's decent. I think Marcos Alonso in his last year as well. But what does it mean for us in the left side? Ben Chilwell is returned back. Obviously, we've seen the footage in preseason that just kicked off. How is Ben Chilwell going to be, I suppose, start of the season? Is he going to be the same Ben Chilwell that we used to know? That is a question mark. Hopefully he is. But we definitely need someone to deputize Ben Chilwell as well. There needs to be a backup. No Alonso, which is fine. Are we happy with Emerson? Me personally, I've seen everything I've had to see in regards to Emerson Palmieri. So, and I'm not completely convinced. Can he do a job? Perhaps. But is that what we want? Just do a job? I don't know. I mean, we are taking so long with every other deal in this particular transfer window, and it's been very difficult to do transfer deals besides the Raheem Sterling situation and maybe Nathan Ake. I can't picture ourselves getting a left wing. I mean, it is a priority position, left and right. If we continue with the wing back situation, even if we don't, even if we keep it as fullbacks, with the four at the back, I still think we need cover. Unless we think Azpilicueta is sticking around, it's only Marcos Alonso that's going, and Aspi is sticking around. Even then, it's just, yeah, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced moving into new season with Emerson Palmieri being the backup of Ben Chilwell. So. But then again, I really can't see how we're going to buy anyone. We're interested in Born Souza. We've heard something about David Rome a long time ago, but are they going to happen? I'm not really sure. So this is another point of concern, this particular position, that left-sided position. But I'm glad that Marcos Alonso is moving on, and 10 million euros is quite decent. Okay, Thomas Tuchel will decide this week whether Armando Broja will join Chelsea on their pre-season tour of the United States. Newcastle believe they can beat West Ham to his signature. With no Lukaku, Havertz and Armando Broja is all we have. How are we even considering thinking about letting him go? Unless we have plans to bring in someone else, which I have no idea who it is, because we're not linked with anyone else at the moment. We're linked with Gabriel Jesus, we're linked with Richarlison heavily. Both of them are gone. They've been taken away. And the market for strikers is rubbish at the moment. Lewandowski is going to Barcelona. There's literally no other players that we can think of. How we letting go of Armando Broja? At this stage, we're probably going to have to keep Timo Werner, if I'm being absolutely honest. And I did say one of Timo or Pulisic could leave. But maybe both has to stay. Because we can't be moving into the next season in a skeleton sort of scenario. Do you know what I mean? Like, guys, let me know. I've been staunch about this situation that we shouldn't let go of Armando Broja. If it's a loan, fine, but we can't be selling this player. This player could be a superstar for us. He's got the raw talent to be something huge. But I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea bends over backwards if a deal for 35 million to 40 million comes in for Armando Broja, and someone like Newcastle could do that. But hopefully this guy kills it in the preseason. He only gets 1 week because we're leaving for the United States tour in about a week. So he gets 1 week to impress Thomas Tuchel, apparently, which is mad. I don't think that's the case. I think he'll probably get the entire preseason. But the fact that there's conversation is not good. And the fact that we have no one lined up is even worse as well. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, some Raheem Sterling update. Chelsea transfer target. Raheem Sterling sells house in Manchester ahead of pending London move. This one, you best believe this one. If we screw this one up, we might as well just shut up shop. Hopefully this is not going to get screwed. Raheem Sterling should be the first signing that we announce, and hopefully he's part of our USA tour. And it'd be great. It'd be a great uplift in the fan base as well. So hopefully we get to see that. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our whole transfer news, Chelsea news that's been happening over the last 24 hours. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about all the situation at the moment. I'm just worried about the preparation. I hope we get the preparation right moving into the new season. So that's my biggest concern. Let me know, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Till next time. See you.